I'm Brie.
And I'm Mike.
And together we're Chaos Cruisers.
And this is our review of the port of Gothenburg, Sweden.
Gothenburg, Sweden, the third day on our cruise. We didn't take as much content creation as I wanted on this entire trip just because we're just starting to get a little bit into the content creation. But we did take a lot of videos for you guys today, so I'm excited to, on that day, not today, to actually share with you guys our experiences. So like I said, it was the third day of our cruise. We docked at 1 p.m. We were only there from 1 to 8, unfortunately. I do wish we had more time, but I think we are going to go back. I don't know what you think, Mike.
Yeah, I mean, we had enough time to kind of explore, get a good feel of the city, the people, things to do around there. There were a ton of really good activities to do within walking distance, which was also nice. So we didn't have to take many taxis or rent any cars or take one of those scooters.
Yeah, we were really lucky that Norwegian, on the Dawn at least, I'm not sure about other sailings or other cruises, but Norwegian Cruise Line actually did provide a $20 shuttle bus. It was not an excursion. You could not book it prior to being on the cruise. You had to go and purchase it at guest services at their desk, and it was really, really easy. You just got on and they ran all day. I mean, you got dropped off and another one pulled up, and we were waiting in line, and I think maybe 3 of them pulled up on the way back to the ship, so we got really lucky with that. It was pretty convenient.
Yeah, it was super convenient. Instructions were clear. We knew what time we needed to get back, which was also nice, and there wasn't really much of a line on the bus back, so it was a pretty easy day getting in, getting out.
Yeah, and you are dropped off in the center of town, which we are going to show right now. And here we are in the middle of town. Like I said, we were dropped off right in front of the National Art Museum. It was absolutely stunning. We had an 8-minute walk with some beautiful architecture, very clean streets, very safe streets all around Gothenburg, Sweden. It was just unbelievable. We had beautiful street art, and here we are walking up on the Universium. Honestly, we were a little early to our reservation, so we got turned around because of how busy it was and ended up going to a brewery and got a craft cider and a craft beer, which we love oh so much.
And here we are walking through the entrance to Universium. Now, Universium is a museum, an aquarium, science museum, learning facility for children, hence the name. So much stuff to see here. Now, I will say, if you do plan on coming, make sure you have at least a good amount of time to spend here because it is crowded. There are a lot of families, as I mentioned. And overall, it's a great experience, a lot of great things to see. Blows anything that we have local out of the water for sure. And it was just overall 10 out of 10 experience.
Now, truly, I was surprised with how many kids were there. However, there was always Swedish and English next to everything, which was really, really appreciated. And honestly, we were a little surprised at how family-oriented it was. I don't think we did enough research, but we did really have a good time. So, how would you say your day was in Gothenburg, Sweden?
So overall, it was a really, really fun day. I still feel like, obviously, we could have used a little more time.
I absolutely agree. I think 1 to 8 was really short Norwegian. That was like barely any time.
Yeah, like I mentioned before, Universium has so much stuff to see. Like, we barely put a dent in, like, what we could have saw. But part of the reason was for the crowds. I don't remember exactly what day of the week we were there. But it was surprisingly busy. At least more busy.
It was in the middle of the week. We definitely were there in the middle of the week. We did go in July. I know this video is really late, guys, but we did go mid-July. Our cruise started on a Monday, so third day. Yeah, it was either a Wednesday or a Thursday. I can't remember off the top of my head, but it was slammed. I mean, it was slammed with kids of all ages, couples, people. I mean, it just seemed in general, it was very a fun cultural way to do something that the locals do.
Yeah, and I mean, part of also what I mentioned too, being almost like a learning facility for children is there are like a ton of workshops for kids. Like, we walked by sections of kids in lab coats doing like science experiments in little rooms.
It was so cute.
It was just very, very cool to see. Sweden as a country obviously takes education very seriously from an early age, and it shows. These kids were super immersed in whatever they were doing, and it was just cool to be around. One thing I will say overall is I didn't really feel too out of place there in comparison. Like, it felt different, but it didn't feel like I was really in another country sometimes.
Some strange outsider. It was very easy for us to navigate. I felt like the service there was amazing. I had my Verizon travel pass, which is part of my phone package. He had an eSIM. Both of us were able to navigate super, super easily, able to look things up. I mean, it was very simple for us to go, hey, what's a good place to go? And they said, oh, go to the place down the road, which is where we went to that brewery. I really enjoyed that. I thought also, you know, just in general, it was very clean. It was so clean. I mean, there was no trash on the floor. The 7-Elevens were so cool. I know they're probably people who are from Sweden are gonna be like, the foreigners. I think the 7-Eleven's cool,
Well,
but I thought everything was awesome.
Yeah, but the one thing I will say is all of the locals were super cool. There's obviously a generalization that, you know, an American goes to Europe and gets treated differently because they're American, right? You know, we are very respectful no matter where we are. Obviously, we kind of blend in and try to, you know, pick up
Attempt to blend in.
Yeah, and, you know, we try to obviously tap into the culture, how people act things and the way they like to do things, and we're very respectful of that. So that probably helped us out a little bit for the most part. But everyone we interacted with, as far as the locals, were great, super nice, friendly people. Obviously, nobody should have a problem with that, but it was worth mentioning.
Yeah, and we also did get a little bit of currency. We did get the Swedish kroners. I'm not sure which way it goes for that one, but we did get it, and we were able to use, I think we got maybe $50 worth. I can maybe put that down below of how much that was in Sweden kronas, but it was super useful to have just for paying for stuff and being able to get like little snacks and stuff, like I said, at the 7-Eleven. I would highly recommend that no matter how much time you have there. We also did get Fikka, I think, Fikka,
Oh, yeah.
with a little snack in the afternoon, which is a Swedish tradition of getting a warm drink and a snack. And it was super fun to also just stop into a local cafe and take care of that.
And one thing to note too is if you happen to like red eyes, you know, a single coffee with one single shot of espresso, they will look at you like you are a freak.
Yeah. The guy who said, I'm going to torture you if I give you that.
Yeah, he was, I ordered a red eye, and the guy looked at me like concerned, and he's like, he hands me the drink, and he's just like, you know, I will make you something different if you don't like this. I'm like, it's fine. Like,
it's okay.
And
We promise.
I couldn't really tell if he was just joking with me or what, but part of me thought he might have been serious. I have no idea. Just something funny to note. One last thing I will also mention, too, is if you do travel here, obviously if you travel anywhere in Europe, you happen to have an American Express card, it's probably not going to work at 90% of the places. So, I mean, cash is good. Visa, MasterCard are fine. You'll be able to use your cards anywhere, obviously. But worst comes to worst, if you're nervous about it, you're not sure, just bring cash.
Yeah, cash is king everywhere. It works everywhere. Just make sure you have the right currency. That's the only thing. Do your research.
But that is going to wrap it up. Short but sweet time in Gothenburg. Would highly recommend. Hope to go back someday. And any additional thoughts?
I mean, honestly, try and follow us if you want to. Join us for other videos. We are going to do a review of our day in Amsterdam on this sailing as well on the NCL Dawn, Amsterdam in July. And then we also are going to post some videos next about our recent cruise that we just came back from, on our Alaska cruise on the Quantum of the Seas versus our experience last year on the NCL Encore. So keep an eye out for those. Join us if you'd like. If not, see you next time.